Yo, so what's up, guys? I know I don't shoot enough content. I hear about this shit on Instagram. Shameless plug, click the link below. You guys can follow me on Instagram, see all the shit that's happening, because I'm not always up to date on here. I'm usually dropping some stuff about financial education on how you can get you several cars like this, but yeah. So today we're gonna be talking about, can you daily drive your R33 Skyline? This is a GT-R, so I was not planning on daily driving this thing. This was supposed to be my baby. Ever since the first Fast and Furious movie, I've always wanted one, and you know, now I have one. I've had it for, I don't know, about a year now, I want to say. And it was just supposed to be the baby. It was just supposed to sit in the garage. I was supposed to look at it, drive it like once every now and then, and never do anything else. But you know, we're down here at my Florida house, and I needed a car to drive down here, and the McLaren was up at the dealer getting the door harness replaced. They're built to order, so it took a while. And then my Lambo, as you guys know, is getting twin turboed. We're actually going to show the perf in a little bit. We're going to be tuning it and everything else. Should make some decent numbers. You know, I needed something to drive down here, and this was it. So let's talk about, can you daily drive it? Now, I will preface this. This is a built car. So it's like built, all right? So it has Cusco front and rear diffs, 2.8 stroker, upgraded twins. The twins actually make it easy to drive, to be honest with you, instead of one big single. So you can run either pump gas or race gas. Pump gas makes a little bit over 500, race gas makes around 600. So, you know, it's not, you know, what normal people would get. Like, you would probably get an R33 that's closer to stock. This has the Hikers deleted, has all the bushings, suspension work done, everything's done. Like, this is a built car. You know, full-blown race seat, cage, no interior in the rear, which we're gonna show you. And so it's different, but surprisingly, it still has power steering and AC, which is something that I really had to have. I was like, car can't be built and not have any of that stuff. So yes, you can daily drive your R33. There's a lot of people down here. Shout out to the Jacksonville Skyline group, you know, on Instagram. You know, so we have a group chat, so all the Jack Skylines. A lot of them do drive their R33s every day. Now, not all of them are GT-Rs and not all of them are built to this level, but they daily drive them. And this is no different. You can, with power steering and AC, it's fine. Now, it does not have, you know, the interior like most people would say. So let's go ahead and take a look. I'm gonna show you guys. It doesn't have, you know, a full interior. So it's a little different. All right, so you guys can see right here, I have my Torco, because you need it, but, you know, still has a, you know, a him and hers seat. I was gonna say, you know, the other H word, but it's him and hers. So we got my race seat there, and then, you know, you go in, take a look, there is no interior in the rear. You know, it's just all harness, right? So, you know, dual 450 pumps, all the good jazz, that stuff. So not as comfortable, but you can daily drive it. No issues whatsoever. I've driven this down past Daytona and a few other places. You know, my good friend Dino, you know, we went and saw his mom. So, I mean, this car, it's held up. It's done very well. This shit is loud on the inside. I mean, full titanium exhaust, no interior in the rear. This thing is loud. You know, what are some of the pitfalls? Parts for these are not cheap. So if you do manage to wreck your car, heaven forbid, chances are this shit's gonna be totaled. Unless, you know, you can find a donor car. Things will break unless you go through and redo everything. You guys gotta remember, this is a car from the 90s. Like, you wasn't even a thought. You wasn't even a little sperm swimming around in your dad's balls. So a lot of this stuff needs to be updated. Brakes, bushing, suspension, lines, like a lot of the hoses are dry rotted, you know, those need done. You know, AC, condensers. There's a solenoid that goes out in these. Sometimes the window trim needs done, you know, or it'll be leaking inside the interior. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you have to look at when you want to daily one of these, you know, as far as condition. Now, you can find some in mint condition, but you're going to pay mint condition prices. So if you get a little bit of a cheaper one, let's say you're not getting a GT-R, you get, you know, like a GTST, which is fine, If you don't need the all-wheel drive and an RB26, you can do with a 25 or whatever, cool. You know, if you can get one cheaper, just know you're more than likely gonna need to do a lot of regular maintenance, you know, just little odds and ends. So I wouldn't recommend importing one or buying one that's already imported and then daily driving it without checking and making sure the maintenance is up to date. Because like I said, a lot of the seals of dry rotted. I mean, the car is from the 90s, guys. So, you know, you want to do your due diligence and not you know, have a rusted out clapper, which a lot of them are rusted out. So that's one thing you guys need to look at when you're getting ready to import one. You know, make sure you have someone that you trust over there that can do a full inspection, because a lot of these are clapped the hell out. They are rusted. All right, but people will buy them anyway, like, oh yeah, it's cool. This right here, like, I wish we could put it up on the lift and show you. Everything has been redone, powder coated, sealed. Like, it is very, very clean, you know, underneath, and that's the way that we're gonna keep it. So, you know, I probably won't be driving it too much in the rain, you know, now that the 765 is here. I will be rotating that out for the Lambo, and I'll be switching those cars, just depending on the time of the year, you know, just because, you know, why the fuck not? But you guys can see, like, I mean, there's a lot of little things that, you know, I do like about driving it on a regular basis. You know, the upgraded brake kit. Now that I will say is annoying. You know, with the big brake kit, with pretty much track pads, they squeal a lot. So that's definitely not fun. People are always looking at me like, oh my God, you got this cheap ass car. Like, this ain't cheap. There's a pad squeal a little bit, you know, unless they're real warm. You know, we got Simply Clean Customs to do some tail lights for me. Yo, big shout out. Check him out on Instagram, Simply Clean Customs. Dude is real cool. I actually have to redo this right here. The fitment is a little off since I got the lights back. So yeah, so it's a 90s car, bro. Like, stuff isn't gonna go back together 100%, but I want to check that out. I don't know, like, little things like that irk me. So, you know, I'll probably take it off to the body shop and have them make some adjustments. But yeah, man, overall, very clean. You know, you guys saw when I first got it, if you guys have been following me on social media, again, shameless plug, it was silver. Now it is wrapped Millennium Jade, because I've always wanted that color. Midnight Purple 3 is generally the color of choice that everybody wants, that or Bayside Blue. But for me, Millennium Jade just kind of stands out, and that's just what I really, really wanted. You know, I just prefer this color. It just looks better. You know, I mean, it has, like, you know, little JDM tiny mirrors and stuff and little odds and ends. The race seat. So this right here makes it a little difficult to daily drive. This seat is a pain in the ass. Like, you know, this seat was not made for larger people. If you're, what does my friend say? Yo, Odie, what's the word? Rubenesque. That's it. Rubenesque is the word, yes. So if you are a very Rubenesque individual, you're not gonna fit in this seat. If you lift, you go to the gym, you're not gonna be able to fit in this damn seat. Pretty much unless you are a small child or, God, man, this is gonna sound so bad. From Asia, Japan, it's gonna be very difficult for you to fit in this seat. I don't know, I know I'm not politically correct, sue me. But yeah, and the cage does make it a little difficult too, as a, you know, full cage. So, well, I can't say full cage because there's no bar down here, but it's caged. We're on Haltech. So, one thing about daily driving this thing, with the Haltech. So, because it has big pumps and all this stuff, it does take a second to prime. You know, we have a swirl pot back there, the whole nine. Actually, let's see, can we open this up? Let's see what's back here. Oh, my cool license plate, it says Pizza Boy. See, keys, people, keys. You know, all that fun stuff. But yeah, so no interior back here, swirl pot, all that, just fuel and goods, cutoff switch, you know, for the battery, because this was a race car over in Japan, and I will probably do a little bit of racing with it here, so we shall see. But it does take a bit. You have to prime the pumps, you know, and you got to let them run for a second, and they're loud as shit, man. They're loud. So little tip, little word to the wise. You guys get, you know, 450 pumps, they're turbine pumps. They're loud. It's just, you hear them all the time. Even when I'm driving, they're loud, and there's two of them, so keep that in mind. So it does take a second, you know, to get fuel through the system, and then you crank it up, it's fine. But it's an annoyance. You know, but outside of that, you know, having the Haltech digital dash, I mean, I prefer that over the factory, you know, analog cluster, just because I get a whole lot more readout, a whole lot more information. You know, for me, I'm a car guy. I do a lot of racing. You guys see me on social media. I do track a lot, so it gives me a lot of useful information that I feel is pertinent. But you know, like I said, man, you guys can daily drive these. You just got to do your due diligence. We'll probably put this down. My guy Race Car Kev, me and him were talking. I'm probably going to do a really big build with this. We're going to keep the 2.8 stroker, but we'll probably switch out to a single, big single, make around 800 on E85. We'll set up flexual, because right now it's not on flexual. So we'll do a whole flexual setup, make around 800. You know, little odds and ends, you know, engine dress up. You know, I want to change the color scheme under hood a little bit, but you know, I haven't quite figured that out yet. You know, we want to powder coat the calipers and just little things, just little finesse things. You know, maybe redo the interior a little bit. You know, add some color to the cage. I don't know. What do you guys think? Comment below. Let me know what you guys would do, what you think should be done. But like I said, man, you guys can daily drive these things. It's really not as bad as people make it out to be. The suspension is very stiff. It feels like your ass is gonna fall out of, you know, your spine's gonna fall out of your ass. Like, that's what it really feels like. I'm not even gonna lie. It's very tight. It's not, that right there alone, like, it would make it not daily drivable for a lot of people. I mean, for me, it's not that bad because I do track a lot, but this is pretty tough. So as long as you have a decent suspension setup, I would recommend 𝗦𝗢𝗖𝗓. Honestly, so 𝗦𝗢𝗓, very good suspension company. I like them, you know, they're great. I mean, they are a little pricey, but 𝗦𝗢𝗓𝗓 is one of the best suspension setups that you can buy for daily use and for track use. So that's what I'll probably swap out with the suspension that's on there now. But yeah, man, just, you know, like I said, man, do your due diligence when you're getting these. Make sure you don't get a rusted out clapper, because if you do, you guys are gonna have a lot of issues, especially with these window sills, with the window trim. That alone, that right there is a pain in the ass, because if you don't do it correctly with the trim and the clips, you guys will end up having to replace the glass. All right, like, so be careful when you're taking all this stuff apart, or like I said, try to find a car that has been maintained very well. So you don't have to do any of that extra shit. I mean, you will still have to, you know, look over, you know, rubber hoses and stuff like that, because they do become brittle over time. But if you can find one that's, you know, decently built, means somebody loved it and they generally did a lot of the maintenance, the routine maintenance over the years. But if you're getting a completely stock one that has a whole lot of miles on it, you know, to keep your price down of importing, it's, whew, woo, man, it's gonna be a doozy. So you guys are gonna have to eat shit. Sorry, like, it's true. You guys are gonna have to eat shit on that. But yeah, so can you daily drive it? For sure. Do you want to daily drive it? I mean, I don't know. I don't want to daily drive mine just because it's my baby. I've always wanted one, so it's just kind of nah. I'd rather drive my McLaren every day, honestly, and put miles on that than put miles on this. This is like, I just kind of want to put it in a time capsule. I do drive this sometimes. So if you guys see me out in Jacksonville, yes, I do drive this around. I do not drive it around as much as I did when I first got down here, because, you know, I have other cars down here or whatever, but I do drive it. I do drive it, and I do enjoy driving it, but I probably will not daily it as much just because I have other cars to drive. But if all the cars had to go back home and this is down here, then I will. You know, I'll go back to daily driving it. Even in the rain, does well in the rain, even with the 888Rs, you know, so as long as you're not doing like 80 miles an hour being an asshole, you're fine. So yeah, all-wheel drive still works, by the way. The 𝗦𝗢𝗖𝗓 doesn't work. I did a 𝗦𝗢𝗓𝗓 delete because over time, oh yeah, there's one thing you guys got to watch out for, the 𝗦𝗢𝗓𝗓. So the all-wheel steering, you will crab walk down the highway. Usually the controller goes out and you just start doing all types of funky things. So a lot of people just do the 𝗦𝗢𝗓𝗓 delete, especially if you're going to track it, because you will send yourself into a damn wall if the 𝗦𝗢𝗓𝗓 malfunctions. It doesn't malfunction just, oh, the wheels are straight. Sometimes it'll malfunction and the wheels be turned a little bit. So, you know, the rear wheels at least, that is not fun, especially if you're on track at speed. You know, that can cause an accident and potentially, you know, end your life. So make sure that you guys do your due diligence on that. All right. So with that being said, man, make sure you guys go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, all the stuff, you know, and then check me out on Instagram, you know, where I drop tons of tips on how you guys can afford these things. I actually dropped some crazy tips on like how I didn't pay taxes on this, by the way. So yeah, look for it. All right, man. So be safe, be smart. I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.